So very, very good morning to each one. Namaste, Jai Jinendra to everyone. I guess everybody has learned the term Jai Jinendra. So normally we have the question answer session on Friday. The reason this time we are taking it on Thursday is because tomorrow is a big forgiveness day. Because forgiveness, apology is the main principle of Jainism. And many times we do it so externally. Well, people call each other Michhami Dukram. So that man vachan kaya se maine kahin pe bhi aapko hurt kiya hai. So I am seeking for your forgiveness. But the drama continues. So that's why this time we wanted to notice and take the other principles of it. And last 3 days, what we worked on, ahimsa, which was non-violence, anikantvad, and we worked on yesterday for non-possession, and that is aparigraha. And this is just not the Jainism principle, it is a principle for Hinduism, yoga as well. So the topics are very deep, and I would like each one to come up with the questions first so that we clarity into it. So please let us start with the question answer session. Who all has questions? Jaisal, I can see this, but you have to unmute yourself. By yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Ma'am, I am myself Jain, and from childhood I am listening to teachers, Jainism teachers. So Theta and Jainism is not matching for me.
Have you learned Theta Healing?
Yeah, I have, but it doesn't match because
Where does it not match for you?
Because we have the highest place is moksha. There is no creator in Jainism.
Okay. So Jainism speaks, how does Jainism describe the universe?
There is that we are flat over here. The earth is flat. We have Devlok above, Narak below, and then there is Moksha on the top. And there is creator.
Okay. So Jainism explains the whole universe into 14 different spaces, Chaud Rajlok, right?
Yeah.
Jainism also believes that you have to take the human birth to be able to access the state of nirvana or moksha, right? And what does Jainism says that even on there is a Devlok. It speaks about the fifth plane, what Theta Healing speaks about, that there are multiple dimensions.
Yeah.
Even Theta Healing speaks that fifth plane has got multiple dimensions there, right? Now, Jainism philosophy believes in God or believes in soul?
Soul.
Okay. Whatever Tirthankaras we believe in, 24 Tirthankaras, why do we believe into them?
No, I completely believe because they teach us how to reach moksha.
Okay, and what do they teach you how to reach moksha? You tell me that.
By let go of all your karma.
What is karma?
Karma means I think the final step would be to surrender our ego completely.
How?
Through whatever we can do, tapashcharya or gnan, also by gaining knowledge.
And
Keeping samta bhav, constant samta, so that all come and go, and then you don't get attached to your karma.
no. That way, they say that Rishabdev Bhagwan's Mata, she was constantly thinking, sitting on an elephant about her son, and she got that. So was that attachment or detachment?
That is detachment, but that is very rare.
No. It mentions clearly that she was constantly thinking about him, and she got it. That day, like Diwali Day, they celebrate that Mavi Swami Nirvana Day. Was ideally Gautam Swami first time could detach, and that was the time he got Keval Gnan, right? Let us focus on the group right now. Jainism believes on the fifth plane there is a Siddha Shila, Mahavidya Kshetra, that is what they describe it, and the Gnan, Darshan, Charitra are the three main qualities. What does Gnan means? Knowledge. You tell me now. Rather than me explaining, because confusion is in your mind. I don't have confusion.
I know, because I understand the thing working out in theta, but then in
No, no,
Jainism
no.
there is
You tell me what is Gnan, Darshan, and Charitra.
Gnan is knowledge. Uh, and, I, Charitra is, I know, the right conduct of living. Whether you take diksha or you don't take diksha, as well as and Gnan is knowledge. Darshan would be, I don't know exactly how to describe.
Anyway, to cut it short, every theory, any religion, anything believes in being mindful of what you are doing,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Any religion, if we see it more from the perspective of what they are preaching and the philosophy which is behind it, whether Jainism, whether Hinduism, or any other religion. In that case, we realize what does theta healing speaks. Theta healing, when you learn, you understand that if I have to understand the universe, it is being split into 7 planes of existence. The 7 planes are existing in now, in present. They are not different. For a human mind to conceive and understand it, to conceptualize that entire concept, it has been explained. And when we explain that, we explain, we draw circles and we say that within you there is light. And plane one, we talk about that there are all the crystal based molecules. Second plane is the plant kingdom. Third is the animal and the human being. Fourth is the ancestors. Fifth is all angels, higher self, your council of 12. Sixth are all the laws, including law of karma. And when you move beyond that, the seventh plane is simply light. Now, Jainism also says that out of this 14 Rajlok, outside the Rajlok is nothing. There is nothing, like nothing that you can describe. And how many souls are there? Only that many souls remains here. Like it is not anything getting added or subtracted, right? It again believes to be mindful of even a small life and small insect. So the compassion, it is a religion of compassion. Have compassion towards other, have compassion towards each other. What I realized and understood that many times our human mind, no matter what we say, I may start practicing, whether I am practicing Vipassana, whether I am practicing other meditative practice, whether I'm practicing Samaik, which is 48 minutes, I'm focusing only. But the human mind, how it is being designed, it goes to different places. You cannot control your thought. Your thoughts are still going there, right? Initially, any meditative practices were being designed so that you get your brain is a muscle. You have to, it's more, any muscle, more you exercise, your muscles get used to it. So similarly, you are getting it used to that this is the time I will do that more. So it is more of a practice, more of persistency, more that every day there is a discipline that we get into our everyday life. Again, Jainism will say that knowingly, unknowingly, if I hurt anyone, I'm walking on the road, I have to survive, I have to eat vegetables, I have to breathe in my air. There are so many small, like I'm still killing and I'm doing that. So every evening before I go to sleep, even morning people do that. That's called prati kraman, prati akraman. Prati is opposite to, like akraman is you're attacking, right? So it is saying that during that time, there is a lot of forgiveness which is being said. And when you listen to that, within you, you realize that, oh, knowingly, unknowingly, I hurt you. Every time it says that man, vachan, kaya thi, mara antkaran thi, હું તમારી માફી માંગુ છું. मेरे मन वचन काया से अंदर से मैं आपकी माफी मांग रही हूँ. Right? So what is man, vachan, kaya? That through my mind, through my speech, physically, if anywhere within myself, if I have knowingly or unknowingly, I have been the reason to hurt you, I seek for your forgiveness. So Theta Healing says the same thing. What I realized after getting into Theta Healing, past life regression, is how the subconscious mind is being built. So this is all the knowledge. When we are born, we are aware of it. The child, when is born, is much more purer. That's why we call them divine. And they are much more knowledgeable than us. They have much more knowledge because they have acquired knowledge from different lifetimes. We all have. We are not simply the product of this lifetime. Those beliefs are there. But that time we are more connected with our higher self. What is our higher self? Simply our higher level of consciousness. My higher self is me. It's not a different entity. But at what level of consciousness I'm operating, that decides my karma. That decides what I'm attracting. That decides my thought pattern and what I think. With the law of gravity, I attract that back. So having that awareness in that, and with time it changes. Definition of moksha, nirvana changes. Even for Jainism, what the last 23rd Tirthankara, Parshvanath Bhagwan, so their last followers and the first followers of Mahavir Swami time. So that time they used to wear colorful clothes. They were not doing pratikraman every day. It was once in a year. Why it became every day? Because the consciousness shifted. Jainism talks about Kal Chakra. Why does it say that this 24 Tirthankaras are now, even the new 24 one will come? What does Hinduism says? The Vishnu avatar changes. Whether if it was in the form of Ram, it preached you to have one person, like one relationship. But in the Krishna avatar, it was a very expansive energy. And we talk about 64,000 wives, 8 Patrani. So with time in every form, the time changes. Theta Healing just simply believes you that you are your beliefs. And it is your one limiting belief which is not allowing to move higher. If I am operating from the first plane of existence, the first plane is a crystal. The molecular structure in the crystals, all molecules are in one direction. They have absolutely brilliant memory. But imagine something which is tied. The molecules can't move. Right? So at what frequency I'm vibrating is very small. Come in the plant kingdom. You produce your own food. And plants are always giving. You are giving oxygen. You are taking in that. But plants experience death. Right? So they are sensitive. Then, so you gather all your knowledge in the different forms of the plant. What 84 lakh cycles we talk about, we are doing it in different forms. What has happened in the animal format? No animal will move alone. They're always in a group. You will see all elephants moving, all deers moving in a group, lions moving in a group. Do they generate karmas? When a lion eats a rabbit, they don't generate karma. No. Because the whole universe functions, the equilibrium of the universe is that way. But you develop one element, one quality. When before you are born as a human, I realize how to be brave by being in the experience of a lion. I experience in a form of a snake that if snakes will not hurt you till you don't hurt them. But if you hurt them, they will not leave you also. So they will at least show you that, dare you do that to me. So what they say is taking wrong from others is wrong. And the eagle, you develop your vision. And I have taken people through the past lives, and I'm just sharing that. I'm diverting the topic a little bit of Jasel's questions. But I remember one of my Theta student, and she had become a Theta teacher as well. She came to me and she had suffered with cancer for years, and we had helped her to come out of her 4th stage cancer. She came to me and she said, Sangeeta, before my marriage, I like these two people. And for some reason, it didn't work out. My current husband, that, is very loving, very good. But I'm beyond my control. Whenever I think about those two people who made me feel rejected, there is a huge anger, resentment. There is a need of revenge in me. I feel like, God, they have something bad has to happen to them. And then I feel very guilty for myself because why am I thinking so bad about others? But, I'm just not being able to shift this from myself. I feel like unka kuch aisa, and she's like, aisa kuch hona chahiye na. And you can sense that energy. Each one of us sitting here would agree that a part of our energy is there in each one of us. There is one relation where, our mind goes and says, you did this, no? Something, God, they have to realize that. That's revenge. And when I scanned in Theta, that Theta Healing teaches you how to scan. And I asked Creator, I asked that God, that Creator, tell me, why is she so resentful and there's so much of revenge in her? What should she require to do to come out of this revenge? And the first image that Creator showed me was a snake, serpentine moving, and it was a couple. And one person, by mistake, I've forgotten, but killed one of them. I saw that getting into two parts, and the half part was still moving. I have no clue about whether it can still move or not, but that is what Creator showed me. It can be a metaphorical representation that the mind, it doesn't die immediately. And that's being proved scientifically also. When a physical body dies, the brain, it still takes time. It was still moving, and then after that, it died. And creators showed that how they were being separated, how it was being killed, that revenge is still there. I said, what do I do? Creator said, this is not something of changing with a download or a limiting belief. You need to regress her back to that time of the animal lifetime. Let her in the animal form finish her revenge because that's non-karmic. Once she will finish that, this energy will move out from her. So I told her, she came for a session. We took her back to that time and let that snake in that form take the revenge right there. And after that, we did a lot of theta downloads and energy and whatever the guidance came. And it suddenly shifted all realities for her. Just in that 1 hour, and it shifted. And she, after that, also messaged that now they don't even come into my thought process. Not only them, with my family, at my work front, people who used to irritate me, it suddenly stopped. Are we not looking for attaining that state? Right? When we say moksha, we say nirvana. I'm saying that I am connected to my element of joy, which is soul's element. There is no more attachment, no more detachment. I am just who I am. We speak about that, but we are unable to reach that state. What theta healing does, what B technique, past life regression does, is to allow you to get into that state. One more example. When the Jain monks came to learn, and one of them was Acharya, like a very high level category, as a Jain, that, in there also there's a category. And when I was teaching them past life regression, she went to the fifth plane, the Devlok, and she described that it's huge, it's shining. Her face changed, her entire, like there are tears in her eyes, and because you feel it. One of them was fasting for 1 year when she had come to learn. She went to the time of Lord Mahavira when he was preaching, he was teaching. And she is like, this energy is so powerful, I don't want to come back. I've never experienced this sort of joy ever before. And I'm telling Creator God, please ask her to come back, because even I know this state is very beautiful. But if she doesn't come back, people will say, oh, in her class somebody died. I said, I am not ready for that. I know it will be amazing for her. And that entire day she was zoned. And I explained her, I said, yeah, you understand it from Lord Mahavira. Because what Jainism teaches is from Agam. These are the books. And the Agamas were not written, there were no recorder at that time, what Mahavir Swami was saying. What people heard, then that is what they said to somebody else and what they understood. What I may teach you may come from my connection. What you may understand comes from your connection. What you may understand and you may preach that to somebody else will be a completely different picture. Imagine in last thousands of years what we have converted that into, right? So Theta Healing also believes in karma. It believes, in fact, one thing that Vayana speaks about karmicals. And she says, these are the karmas we generate unaware. When we are laughing, if I'm walking and somebody by mistake will fall, and I will laugh and say, oh, look at them. And I will say, look at this person, I'm not realizing what I'm doing. And what I'm generating is what in Jainism they say that the sticky karmas, they take longer to clear because you are ignorant about it. You're not even aware of it. Theta healing makes you it gets you out of that ignorant state of mind. It makes you aware of what you are doing. Because the way of healing, theta way of living is anything that happens in my life, I ask, what belief of mine is attracting it? What is my soul learning out of it? How does it benefit me by being in that? So I take onus of my thing. And that stops you from generating more karmas. And then once I realize it gives you tools of exchange the soul fragments, clear the psychic hooks, clear the psychic attacks, clear the free floating memories, connect to the higher self, ask your angel why, see what you are creating. And it allows you to clear your karmic zone beautifully, not for this lifetime, for many, many lifetimes. So, how is it different? How is it different? I fail to understand. It gives you tools, and that's what when I was teaching Jain gurus, and they said this is exactly the same what Jainism says. Rai said, this is in a layman's language. We are giving tools. In the other, for years, you develop that quality and develop the mindfulness. The philosophy is amazing for who would choose to understand Jainism. It's very scientific. It is based on science. There is a scientific reason for everything. But both are asking you to be mindful of your speech, or of your thought, of your action. Stop hurting others. Have compassion for yourself or others. It is one and the same. If you have any reason to tell me how it is different, you tell me now.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So somebody has a question. See, I cannot read. Can you please come on the platform? Because I need to see and connect. Who has the question? Any question regarding what we learned in last 3 days, please ask, because it is for you to develop that clarity, for each one of us to develop the clarity. There was one question which came on the screen and has gone. Can that person unmute and come here? CA was written on that. Can you please? I can't hear you. Neither that I can see you. Can you please open up your screen and unmute?
My network is low, so if I on the radio, okay, I'll just try.
What is your question?
My question is
That's
that
Monica Shikal.
actually, so I will. Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, hi Monica.
So my question is that so my question is that I've been practicing both modalities, like I'm a Jain and also practicing Theta. So I was curious about something that in Jainism, like our top 24 Tirthankars release their karmas to fasting and
Unclear.
meditating.
The voice is very unclear. In Jainism, what did you say?
Okay. Just a sec. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, this is much better.
Okay. So I was saying that in 24 Tirthankars used to, teach the Jainism and do fasting and did a lot of cleansing through fasting, like Lord Mahavira did for 1 year, he was fasting. In Theta Healing, the karmas are released like easily with consciousness. So, and in Jainism, we just meditate, we let go and we surrender things, we surrender our thoughts, we surrender ourselves. So, which way is the way to salvation and moksha? Because I have been looking for this answer since I gotten in theta and I could relate with theta healing just like Jainism. So I was a bit confused. Is there a fine line of difference or is it the same?
Okay. So my first question to you is, has anywhere in Jainism it is written that if your body doesn't support you, you still fast, and fasting is the only way to reach moksha? Does
No.
Jainism give more importance to your thought and your bhav, like your
Yes.
emotions, or more importance to fasting?
Bhav.
Has anywhere it is written that fasting is the only way one can attain moksha?
No.
Okay.
No.
So this is
Then
one.
why do people follow religion and
Got
they
it.
just
This,
blindly do fast, blindly follow books and
got it.
albums?
Got it. So fasting is one of the way of purification which is being shown. Scientifically also, we all know that you are what you think, you are what you eat, right? The food carries energy. When the food which is there right from the time the seed, like what memory it is stored, right from the time when the farmer is cutting it, in the, like it comes to your house, the person who is preparing food, how they feel emotionally about it, that energy goes into your food. If anyone wants to experiment that, like eat the food which is being prepared with a lot of anger and eat it, and eat the food which is being prepared with lots of love and eat it. You can eat the junk food prepared with love and healthy food prepared with anger, and see which one will still help you. And we all know, like that's how the mother nourishes, right? Because when a mother feeds the child, there's a lot of love attached to that. and child gets all the nutrients there. So in today's time, there like the food, lot of chemicals and everything. So the food is not, my body is constantly busy in digesting. So the whole concept is that these are the basic necessities in my body: food, water, breathing, or people having the desire for physical intimacy. These are the necessities of, and people, when I can control my physical needs and my mind is in control and in charge of that, I'm not allowing my physical needs and the desires to control me, is one thing that happens. Second, the body detoxification happens, the body becomes purer. Third, people do that because they says that God, this is my time only with you. I don't want to waste any time in all these things. And that's why, like, people who are aligned, the Tirthankaras could fast for days beautifully without feeling, without, were they thinking about food while they were fasting? How many of us, when we fast, it's a human mind. And let's be honest, we are thinking, oh, tomorrow the parna, or tomorrow I will drink rab, or tomorrow this will happen. The previously people eat as if like, you are going to never get food. And they are like, oh, let me eat this shira also, let me eat that also. Where,
Ma'am, during Samayik,
where have you given?
also.
Where have
During
you? Yeah, so where have you given it? A lot of time when you're doing it for the first time, 8 days fasting, you're thinking of celebration. Oh, what will happen? Oh, this is what we have to do. This is how. Oh, did people come and ask me, how are you feeling? Shata macho, are you fine? So, what is happening at your thought process level? So, the answer is very simple. Each modality gives you different tools. The way in which theta healing gives you the how to identify limiting beliefs, to change it, and number of other tools theta healing gives you. This is not the only one. It helps you to change it at a genetic level. It helps you that Jainism has given you different tools, and fasting is one of them. You do what resonates to you, what you are ready for, and what you are connected to. And nothing, there is nothing right or wrong in anything. But the minute there is an intent, what I feel more connected to, I do that. And if I'm being mindful of what was the purpose of doing that, why did Lord Mahavira speak about it? What was the reason behind it? And if you understand it and then do it, you will be at a much better position to let that allow you to clear your own energies.
Ma'am, I have just one question to add in this. Ma'am, when we do Pratikaman, okay, so we are actually asking for forgiveness. But people just chant mantras, okay. And after Michhame Dugadam happens, they again start fighting. So,
Yeah. So, yeah.
how do you?
So, number one, to understand these mantras are very powerful. If you will see Dr. Emoto's video on water crystal, one of the day we will show it on the daily theta also, where how each thought, each word impacts the water, and our body is 70% water. Like, because in their experiment, like, even if you think about Mother Teresa, water changes the form. You think about Hitler, water changes the form. How does water know who was Mother Teresa and Hitler? But when you think, there is a feeling that generates into your own psyche and your human body, and that impacts. So even when you chant mantras, mantras are very powerful. It generates that energy, and it does, whether you are aware or not aware, it does help and it does impact. But at the same time, you are not being able to bring that shift because it's from external to internal. My thought level, I'm not developing that awareness of questioning myself. If I'm angry, why am I angry? Why do I want to hold on to that anger? How does it serve me to remain in this anger? How does it serve me to be hateful of this person? And then as long as I'm not choosing to change it, it doesn't change. You do pratikraman and next day it is same, because your subconscious probably has taught 5,000 experiences with that, and your subconscious believes that only when you are angry you are safe. Only when you are angry people will maintain the distance. So subconscious does not have logic, doesn't have intellect. The subconscious mind believes that that's the only way of living. The consciousness shifts when either I camouflage it with a new belief I download, or I invoke the body of willpower, the body of knowledge, to say that when did this start? Why do I believe that anger is the only way I'm safe? Why do I have to shout? And it may take me back to the memory of my childhood, and I may see that, for example, in a parent, one was submissive and one was angry. So the other person listened to them. But the only time other person, when they shouted, they took charge back. You witnessed it and you realized that, oh, shouting and screaming is the only way I'm safe. But you realize when now you see the complete truth. That is what Anikantvad said. Be a listener. See the complete truth. So we operate, we are impulsive, we react out of our incomplete truth that we have understood. How can it bring shift? So Theta Healing gives you a tool to introspect, and there is a question line. And then I realize, because I am in the theta frequency of the brain, so I'm in a deep meditative state. I am in the Samhaik state. I am in that state. And then I get that from the higher level of consciousness. It's an altered state of pure consciousness. And then you see it and you realize that, oh, but this was not the truth. What my mother did was she just speak up for herself. I perceived it as shouting and screaming. Do I really want? I'm not in a relationship where somebody does that. Love is the frequency which shifts, and that's what I choose. And the minute there is a shift, there is an awareness. It's like, how medically, if the diagnosis is right, then the right medication can be done. So in theta, in any modality, getting the right diagnosis is the key. Whatever you do. And then you are aware every time. No, but I don't require, because I don't want to teach my children same thing. I want to be more aware. I want to let them know life is beautiful. Do you think then they will continue with the same?
No. Actually, my children was my inspiration to come to Theta.
But they learn psychologically, it's been proven. Your children are under 6 years. You are the primary caretaker. They will follow what you do. Even if you don't teach them any of this, you don't teach them theta, you don't teach them chakras, you don't teach them Jainism. But if you are following it, they will learn it. They are what you do, not what you speak.
True. Very true. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Who else has a question? Wow, people have no questions for these 3 topics.
Sangeeta, I have this question, please.
Please.
I am Preeti.
Hi,
So,
Preeti.
yeah, it was a wonderful
can
Jainism.
I see Preeti on the screen, please?
Sorry.
Hi, Preeti. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. So it was, thank you so much for the great insight on Jainism and all. And of course, even I follow very deeply. And I just want to know that, sometimes how people, or even sometimes even sadhu sabhijis, they say like, Jainism is the very shrest religion. So how do we, now, youngsters, like, sometimes the kids and all, they say, how can you be that you're just a supreme? Why not any other this thing? Why even other path, other spiritualities also teach us a lot. It's not only the Jainism. So how does one answer this?
No. See, there is always, if now let me give you answer from theta perspective, right? So let us see Anekantva, then see it from different perspective. When I say this is Shrestha, this is Sarvottam, this is the best thing. It can come out of two state of mind. One state of mind of the believer is the ego that I'm the best and everything else is inferior.
Correct.
Right? So does that work? It doesn't, because does Jainism support egoism?
Never.
It doesn't. So Jainism, because when it is ego, it doesn't work for you, because if it is my I, which is the supreme, then the divine in me can never come up. Then I'm not allowing the divine, which is me, to be one. My consciousness remains in that ego, and I can never see, because I'm blindfolded and I can never see the complete truth. If I'm not seeing the complete truth, who decides what is better, superior or inferior? Is the body of judgment. Does Jainism support the body of judgment? Does it judge anyone? So how do you say you get trapped into the body of judgment? So Jainism never preached you that. So you cannot blame Jainism for that. The philosophy never said you that. You rather take time and invest into reading agamas and understand it. Are they saying that? You counter argue with the people who are saying that. Isn't it that this comes with that? How does that support that? And another way of thought process is what we say. When I say that this is the best, I'm saying that currently I'm operating with the best version of myself, who I am. It comes with a lot of surrender, trust, belief in something. I am being able to let go of my ego and being able to surrender when I have that faith and the trust. Right? So if my mindset by saying that this is Shrestha is coming from that I have found, I have understood, I know it has all the answers that my soul is looking for. And following that, I let go of my own consciousness to be at one side, be merged with the supreme consciousness of the divine, and allow that supreme, again, I'm saying you supreme, allow that supreme, I'm saying, yes, divine, you are superior than me, because I have not yet reached to that state. You are the Shrestha, because I am not. The same message comes not from the ego, but from lot of place of faith, surrender. Will that work for me? It is, because then I am allowing that, okay, the Supreme said that, so divine, what did you do? What qualities do you have? Do I have those qualities? Let me see what way I can develop those qualities. That comes because I put somebody high on a pedestal. I believe that that energy is higher. It is higher. It is Shrestha. It is the best. It is supreme. And that's why I'm looking forward. So, as we say in Theta Healing, everything, or in any modality that Cesta teaches, we always say, everything begins at the level of your intention that you set. Develop clarity. So, if you will, in Jainism also, bhav is the important part. With what emotion am I listening to that? What did I understand out of it? If I understand out of it, is that there can be what I am, who I am today. I am still a victim of, my nature is still the victim of getting angry. I can still not love people for who they are. If I'm not able to accept them for who they are, then there is something which is better, because they invested years into that meditative state and they experienced it, that their energy is that energy, I would like to somewhere connect a part of my energy to that supreme energy, which is just simply oneness, and just be that. In that way, like Theta Healing also says, right? The creator of all that is the seventh plane. Beyond all the laws, there is simply the energy of love, and the energy of love is powerful to transform anything. So, what are Tirthankaras? Energy of love. It transforms. And when Tirthankaras used to speak, like we all said, like, like even if you are in that periphery for miles away, when animals used to sit there, what do they show you in the Samosaran? Animals, human beings, the people who have taken Diksha, the sages, they all are together. So that is what it means. So it is any statement has 2-3 different parts to it. And one of them is the receiver's mindset. If I come out from the heat and you tell me, wow, it's such a pleasant thing, and I'm like, are you mad? I'm sweating here, and how does it make me pleasant? And receiver's way of being able to understand my capacity to be able to perceive it, my state of mind, my environment defines any statement which is being said in the books by God, by teachers, how I receive it. So the statement of Jainism is this Shrishth, whether it is ego-based or whether it is making you believe in that, defines how that will help you and how you take it. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Where does one read the agams? Where do you get to read them?
I think the agams are available easily in any of the temples, and like when you go and ask them that I want agam, because there are processes, Kalpasutra thing, and but they are not written in English, and
Yeah.
I know somebody who's translating agams into English right now.
Oh, I would like to know that, because somewhere like we are like Kutchis, Thanakwasis, so everything is in the Kutch village only. But yet agams and all are not that open to the rest of the
Even
this
in
thing.
Kutch, even in Stanakwasi, believes in non-puja, right? They do not believe in an idol,
Correct.
but they believe in soul. They believe in it's the
Of
same
course.
philosophy. So agams will be easily available. You can speak to any of the Maharaj Sahib Masati and say, I want to start reading agams, or I want to understand agam. Probably they'll be
But
able.
if you know anyone in Bombay, I would like to
Sure.
know about it. Please let me know.
Sure. I think probably my parents do have Agam's books with them. I will definitely ask. I will definitely. You can personally message me. I will see.
Lovely. That would be great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else for any questions? We are already really it's late. If there is no question, then I can do downloads. Or if there is any question, there is no question. So friends, all these 3 topics were very deep topics. It is not even possible in half an hour to explain along with the downloads you this all 3 topics. I request each one that last 3 days, please go through it again and again. Because even if you are listening to the same thing again, there is one thing which suddenly you will register, and the downloads will make it easier. Anytime that you say that we can, during the Theta Healing lifestyle journal that we are doing, the lifestyle journal is with the same reason that the knowledge is fine, the wisdom comes from experiences, but how do we implement that into our everyday life? And how do we make it easier for us to live our daily life with that? How do we develop that mindfulness about it? So, any more questions anytime? I'm always there. Please put it on the group and we will discuss that. Let us close today's session. Tomorrow being the last day, we will do the forgiveness. Today, please take out 1 hour time, not 10 minutes. Watch all 3 videos. Make the list. Pick up, even if you can't pick up 10 people you are angry, pick up that one person for tomorrow's forgiveness. But before tomorrow's session, do what I have asked you to do last 3 days. Do that again. Do that, ask that question, because it is only you and you and you who has the power to shift. No religion, no, not me, not anyone, because it's in your mind, it's in your consciousness. So please take that time out for 1 hour. Listen to that, listen to the downloads, and do introspect and decide that one person in your mind tomorrow, with that one person with whom you really want to release your karmic obligation. Because I will be guiding, but you will have to imagine tomorrow and do the forgiveness from within to liberate yourself, to liberate them. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We are running late, so we are not doing any downloads today. Don't worry, we will do it one of the day, more of this downloads, but I'll record and put it on the group. So thank you so much for joining, and see you all tomorrow for a wonderful forgiveness session that we intend to do. Thank you.